Hello, 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 beautiful people. So today I've been thinking over the last few weeks for sure about phrases people would say to me in my childhood that when you think about it now, it's kind of like, why? Why would they do that? You know? And I mean, I have lots of memories coming back now, so I know more now why they did that, but still should have been red flags, red flags everywhere. The one that always got me, and I have this really interesting brain where I can remember nothing or I can remember everything, but I know everything's in there. It's just finding a way to it that is what I work on. And I used to always say, oh, I'll put that in the vault for later. And it's in there, man. It is definitely a vault in there. It's a time capsule. A time capsule full of information and knowledge and historical events and a lot of stories. A lot of stories. Maybe that's why I like to be a storyteller. I always say I make it into a story. I've even said to my kids, they've asked me something about a piece of cheese, and I said, well, are you ready for a story? Because I'm going to make a whole big shabam about this cheese. But they're okay if I warn them that it's going to be this super long deal. Okay, the first one that I never understood, but honestly, again, like I've said before, I lived in my own world. Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. Okay, I was I'm a why. Why not? So I'm sure that would get bothersome as a person, anybody around me, child, adult, whatever. So I heard that a lot. The other one that I heard a lot, and with this one, I remember crying a lot with this one, is the one about the boy who called Wolf. And if he kept calling Wolf, eventually people would just stop believing him whatsoever on anything because of the nonsense that they kept talking. And I remember the memory came back pretty vividly, like a couple months ago. I was just like so hurt and just devastatedly brokenhearted that people wouldn't believe me. They wouldn't believe me. Like, how can you not believe somebody when they're talking like that? That's not true. That's not true. If you keep talking like that, no one's going to help you with anything because they're going to think that you just tell non-truths. So that one always got me. That one was always a big thing for me. So I'm sure that probably, why would I tell anybody anything then at that point? Whether they think it's true or false, whether I know it's true or false. That's kind of, I think, when the communication thing, totally broke down for sure. I just stopped, just turned the light off and said, all right, guys, you got the shell here because you don't know me, I guess. I don't know. It's not even that. I don't even know, man, anymore. I don't even know. The other one, and I mean, I still do it to this day, unless I have, I'm noticing more now if I've served myself something majority of the time, if it's a beverage, I won't smell it. Usually if I cook my own food, I won't smell it. But if somebody else gives me something, I smell it. I smell it. There's many ways to look at that one, right? Because there's so many different reasons why people would smell something before they ingested it. Palate-wise, I've always had a good palate. I can taste lots of different things. But again, that's one just to sit on, right? I'm almost 42 years old. Why do I smell everything I ingest? Just interesting. Just interesting. I mean, I think we all deal with this one, but we don't really acknowledge it. And I think that it needs to be acknowledged more, because I am seeing it with children that are just like, they're just dazed and confused that why are you even saying that? But it's those sideways jokes, right? Like, God, it doesn't matter who you are or what age you are. If you don't know, you don't know, man. Why are we making a sideways joke about it? Like, now they know. Again, watching a situation when there's a group of people and 8 people are talking about this thing, but this person mentioned something else, and now is the joke of the group because their thought is somewhere else, but is totally an accurate thought. You know, like there's lots of different things that I'm noticing that are very interesting in social behavior. The other one that's been really sticking with me is I've always had such a love for words, and I remember having journals, lots of journals. I always was writing, but I don't know where any of that is. Such a love for words. It's coming back for sure. Rhyming, rhyming and speaking and singing and the words. And I got a dictionary and I was so pumped to get a dictionary. It's amazing. And that actually made me think about not having a dictionary. I remember my mom having a hidden dictionary in her work bag. So it's all these little things that you always wonder why. You never really understand when it's happening. And I remember going to the library a lot, and I was allowed to read whatever I wanted, but I couldn't necessarily bring everything home, right? So it's very interesting to think back about the things that I was allowed to come in contact with and the things that I was not allowed to come in contact with. Which again, that makes you just think, right? It's your brain's going. And again, like I said before, I'm a why person. So I'm like, well, why? Why didn't I have a dictionary? Why didn't I have this? Why, like it's just a lot of pondering, and I'm allowed to ponder. I'm allowed to have my own opinion on what I believe. I'm allowed to be me for me, not for anybody else. Nope. Not at all. There's one more that I always never understood. And see, the thing is, I would ask these questions. I would try and ask questions, but it just, everything always got waved off. It was more of a like, well, I'm going to not talk about that, and then you're just going to move on. So just like continuously never getting answers, or getting one answer from like everyone possible that was the exact same answer. and this one's like pretty personal, but I'm gonna put it out there. But like, here I go. I got my period pretty early on in my life, and for some reason I was put on birth control. And I was told that it was for a certain reason, which is fine. It seemed legitimate, but I don't know. I don't know anymore. For me, going back to that situation, going back to that memory and thinking like, oh, well, why was I so upset when I was told that nobody would believe me anymore? Why was I told that I was put on birth control for my acne? Why was I told? So I'm going back with the knowledge that I have right now to just take another view of those situations that I lived through. And because I have different knowledge now, I have different brain thought processes, then you look at things differently. And I'm allowed to do that. I'm allowed to go back in one of my memories and look at the situation in a different view. That's the whole point of us learning and growing and evolving, to see what else was happening in that situation at that time. So that is what I'm doing. And I'm building a relationship with me, myself, the person I trust. I trust myself. So those are some of the things that I've been pondering lately. The brain fog is very much lifting. So that is amazing. And again, bit by bit, so it's not so overwhelming. It's not going to knock me down. It's something that I can think about, ponder, and then let it go. Because all of those things, they need to be not even a memory, not even an experience, just like, I have no feelings towards that. That was that time. I'm sure I had a lot of feelings at that time. And then there was other things that were also simultaneously happening, but then you don't really, I didn't look back. I've started writing things out, like what happened when, and so it is coming together. It is a process. The journey to self is that. It is a process. It's a lifetime journey on things that we've dealt with here, there, and everywhere, really. Yeah, but it's peaceful. I never would have thought that it would be peaceful to find out all the different memories that I've finally remembered. I did not think peace was going to come with that, but it did. Was it peace in knowing that the feelings that I was having at that time were actually right? And that the information that I was getting verbally was not accurate, but my body was trying to communicate to me accurately. So finding the difference between what I feel and what someone else is saying I am feeling or should be feeling, and knowing the difference between that, and knowing that I actually can trust my feeling, because my feeling has actually gotten me decently further along whether you know I listen to it or not. And then all the other verbal communications that I've gotten that have really tried to just take me off course. And I'm done. I'm done with that. No more off course. It's not time for off course, people. It's not time for that. I think that's all I can do right now. And there's gonna be lots of fun coming. Yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful year. So beautiful. It's gonna be so magical and loving, and we are all gonna get sprinkled with all the love. I know it. I know we will. Until next time, beautiful people. Love you.